The woman discovered that her boyfriend had secretly recorded hundreds of her intimate videos. In anger, she set fire to her boyfriend's villa. But when the boyfriend returned, he was not angry. Instead, he arranged for the woman to stay at another villa. Everyone thought the boyfriend must deeply love the woman. They assumed the intimate videos might be the boyfriend's peculiar hobby, but only the woman knew the truth. The boyfriend was the most despicable and shameless person in the world. The woman was originally the daughter of a wealthy man, but since the woman's mother passed away, her father had brought a vicious stepmother into the home. The stepmother urged the father to sell all of the mother's belongings. The woman angrily scolded her father. Her father thought the woman had gone mad. To punish her, he sent the woman to Smith. Smith was a CEO worth $100 billion. He managed countless proud, talented employees. So the father asked Smith to discipline the woman. When Smith first saw the woman, he found her very interesting. He not only made the woman his secretary, but also let her live in his villa. At first glance, the woman hated Smith because Smith and her father were wicked accomplices, so the woman constantly played pranks to bully Smith. But each time, Smith responded calmly. One day, the woman put a special drug into a cup of tea. She wanted to film Smith embarrassing himself, so she enthusiastically tricked Smith into drinking the tea. Unexpectedly, the woman had bought the wrong drug. Smith and the woman accidentally had a wonderful date. Afterwards, the woman and Smith maintained a delicate relationship. They were not lovers, just friends who met each other's physical needs. But as time passed, the woman gradually fell in love with Smith. So one day, she planned to confess her feelings to Smith in the villa. But that day, Smith did not return home. The woman, disappointed, opened her phone. Suddenly, she saw a shocking piece of news. The billion-dollar male CEO was dating a beauty late at night. And that CEO was Smith. The woman, furious, smashed all the decorations. The following night, Smith returned and spent a wonderful night with the woman. While Smith went to take a shower, the woman secretly checked Smith's phone. But the result disappointed her. She had originally held a little hope for Smith. What if the news was slander? Unfortunately, Smith really did have an ambiguous chat partner. At that moment, Smith walked out of the bathroom. He did not notice the woman's dejection and simply put on his clothes and left. The woman sadly called her father. It turned out that not long ago, her father had arranged for the woman to marry a terminally ill top tycoon, simply because the tycoon was willing to pay $30 billion. The woman had originally refused, but now she no longer loved Smith. She preferred money, that practical thing, instead. Her father was overjoyed. He instructed the woman to go to a city to get married in a month. The next day, the woman returned home. Although she hated her father and stepmother, she now wanted even less to live in Smith's villa. But the woman did not expect that the stepmother had a daughter, Mary. By coincidence, Mary was moving into her home today as well. The woman felt Mary was very familiar. She finally remembered. The beauty who dated Smith late at night in the news was Mary. The woman hurried back to her bedroom in a panic. She thought the world was absurd. At that moment, her father knocked on her door. It turned out Mary liked the woman's bedroom. Her father ordered the woman to give the room to Mary. The woman was furious. She packed her luggage and left the house immediately. That afternoon, the woman checked into the best hotel and then began to shop wildly. She quickly spent $30 million. Unexpectedly, when the woman returned to the hotel, the staff had thrown her luggage out. It turned out her father had frozen the woman's bank cards. She couldn't pay the hotel bill, so she had to leave in embarrassment, dragging her luggage. Just then, Smith suddenly found the woman. He forcefully took the woman back to the villa. Although the woman no longer loved Smith, she really had nowhere else to live, so she stayed at the villa temporarily. At this point, the woman did not yet know that her nightmare had only just begun. 3 days later, Smith suddenly took the woman to attend an auction. When the woman arrived at the venue, she found that Mary was also at the auction. Mary hypocritically greeted the woman. The woman, however, found Mary disgusting. She coldly sat down in a chair. The auction began soon after. The woman suddenly noticed one of the auction items was actually her mother's heirloom. It was a jeweled necklace. The woman immediately sold all her jewelry to bid on that jeweled necklace. Mary noticed this. She actually borrowed money from Smith to buy the necklace. The woman hated Mary even more. After the auction ended, Smith left for a while on business. Mary proudly came to show off to the woman. She had even put the jeweled necklace on a dog. The woman was extremely angry. She directly stabbed stabbed Mary's right hand with a weapon. At that moment, Smith suddenly returned. Seeing his beloved Mary injured, he called the police and had the woman sent to jail. The woman spent the darkest 3 days in jail. When she got out of prison, she immediately went into the hospital to recuperate. It turned out Mary was being treated for her hand at the same hospital. One day, Mary walked into the woman's room and told the woman an astonishing truth. At that moment, the woman only wanted to kill Smith.